We've seen you do it before. How do you hit a ball like that? Is that what we call a knuckleball?
I can't explain. It's hard to explain. I'm just practiced this shot for a long time, and then it looks like that.
How's playing right back? You seem absolutely born to it.
There's always a long discussion between me and the gaffer, and but yeah, to be honest, I play where he put me. I try to give my best, and help the team.
Arne, if you're going to win a game by 1 goal, might as well make it a good one.
A moment of magic, which was needed, I think, to win this game for either sides. Two teams, uneventful game, not a lot of things happen. Quite equal to each other. I felt the first half they had the upper hand in the game. To me, it felt as if we had the upper hand in the second half. For us, it's very nice to have 9 points out of 3 games, where we had in the same games last season 5 points, and then I mean Bournemouth, Newcastle, and Arsenal. That's a positive, but yeah, not more than that, I would say.
We've been incredibly consistent against the top sides for the last 2-3 seasons. But today, with the amount of dominance and the clarity that they had, how we had to play the game, that's the next step. We need to produce those moments. We had 4 situations, very clear that we have to finish the actions much better, especially the one with Epps after conceding the goal. That's what you need to win the games.
What is it you need to put that in? Is it more belief? Is it a bit more pace to play?
It's conviction. At the end, is an execution. Is the quality of execution. If we put Szoboszlai in that position another 20 times this afternoon, I don't know how many he's going to put in the top corner. But what it counts is to do it in the moment that's going to win it, and they've done it.
Wayne, you might not have enjoyed a winning goal for Liverpool in this game, but can you admire the technique from Szoboszlai?
Yeah, it was such a fantastic free kick, and I think the distance. For them to have the bravery to go and take the shot on, and everything has to be perfect for him to score from that distance. You see here, he's over the ball. Arsenal know he's probably going to shoot. There's only one man over the ball, and he's got the confidence and belief to take that shot on. And from this angle, you see how difficult it is. He's got to get it over the wall. But the one question I had really was David Raya in terms of he moved his feet slightly a bit quicker, and I didn't know the reason why.
So I'm going to answer that for you, Wayne. So when you're in goal, you've got to be aware. You've got so many options, but the most important thing is you've got to get eyes on the ball. So at the moment, with that fake wall of Wirtz and Gakpo, David Raya has to be a little bit further to his left than he'd like to be. Here, that wall splits. That's why he makes that adjustment and he gets eyes on Szoboszlai. And when I talked about being neutral, you've got to be able to cover everything. So David Raya is aware that there's a Szoboszlai shot over the wall. There's a potential shot goalkeeper's side, which is very important for him to cover. There's a pass into Chiesa, which is slightly less dangerous. And the fourth, but he still needs to be aware of it, unlikely a cross to the back post. Now, as Szoboszlai approaches it, it's very, very clear what's going on now. He's having a shot at goal. David Raya is in a brilliant position. He's in a brilliant position to get those steps in and say, you have to be perfect to beat me. And you know what? That free kick wasn't far off it. David Raya was in a great position. He's one of the fastest, most agile goalkeepers in the Premier League, if not the world. And he had put himself in a great position, set, gets the step in, flies after it. That is absolutely perfect. Sometimes you've got to say, that is world class. Well done, Dominic Szoboszlai.
It was a fantastic free kick, but he's the first player not called Trent Alexander-Arnold or Philippe Coutinho to score a direct free kick in the Premier League for Liverpool in almost a decade. And he was doing it while playing in Trent Alexander-Arnold's former position, not his usual position. How do you think he played?
Yeah, I thought he played fantastic, and his ability on everything to be done. Joe, you were talking about today, wasn't you?
Yeah, I absolutely loved him. And you were saying when we were talking about championship winning performances, you've got Frimpong out, you've got Conor Bradley struggling, and here he is stepping in for his team, not only defending Martinelli, an electric left winger, but turning the ball over and keeping it. This is the position we talk about all the time. Fullbacks not quite being aware at the back post. He's aware, then he's able to get on the front foot, and he wants to support his team. Busting the gut. This guy is so fit, spins 100-yard run one way, never gives up, wants to get himself in the best possible position, knows his responsibility. Over 200 yards, not a problem. One of the fittest players in the game. Look, we know he's a really creative centre midfielder. That first time pass through the lines is absolutely brilliant. And that's exactly what you want from your midfielders, let alone your right back. And Kelly, you were just alluding to, as we cross over to this next one, about a previous Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back. Look at this pass, look at this capability. Now look, he's not trying to get himself in that right back position. He knows full well when both those players are fit, he'll go. And then to finish it with this, absolutely world-class, brilliant performance, and with a click of his fingers, Liverpool are unbeaten and top of the league.
It's going well for Liverpool, but they're relying on late goals to do it. As someone who was part of a Manchester United era that was famous for that, Wayne, what does that say about Liverpool?
I think when you score late goals, it's a testament to the players, to the manager, to the coaching staff, to what minute of the game is. You've got that confidence and belief that you can go and win games, and when you score late goals, the belief that gives you, not just for that evening, but for the next few days around the training ground, to all the staff, it gives you that energy, that added energy, which, just win the game win the game 3-0 and see the game out doesn't do. When you score that late goal, it gives you such a belief, to moving into the next game. So that's a sign of champions.
We heard from both Arne Slot and Mikel Arteta, who said that it came down to small margins, really, in that game. So it comes down to individual battles. Who do you think came off best in that?
Yeah, I thought Liverpool were fantastic in the individual battles. I thought they dominated. They weren't afraid to go in on Arsenal, especially on Gyökeres. I thought the back four were excellent in how they've done that, especially these two. I think Konate and Van Dijk. Gyökeres, we know he's quick, we know he's strong, he makes good runs in behind, but no problem going in tight with him. Konate here uses up his strength, no problem, wins the ball back, now carries the game down for Liverpool. And again here, I think we see Kerkez here, you think he's got the better of him. As he gets back, he sticks with him, gets the block in, no way through for Arsenal. And what I really like here, you look at Van Dijk, he's leading from the back, he's pushing Gravel back into the midfield, into the wide player. He's no problem stepping into the midfield, being brave, being aggressive. Now, he probably should do a little bit better here. I know he's a centre-back, but having that intention of, these aren't going to get on the ball and do what they like with the ball, and unfortunately Liverpool don't do better there. But again here, Konate, no problem, he's got to run in behind him, let's run offside. Is he quick enough? Yes, he is. He uses his body again, stays tight, gives them no room to get the cross in. Gets a little round of applause from his teammates here. And again, Van Dijk, all game, they were doing this, setting up, being brave, stepping up another attack for Liverpool. But Konate goes off. I think he's injured. But Gomez now comes into the game. No problem here. He knows exactly where his man is. He has a little look. He's in a good position, he's not panicking, he's not rushing, he's not getting forced too far towards the near post. Now as the cross comes in, uses his body and clears the ball. And just when you want your captain coming across people, getting his head on things, great header, clears the ball, and then Liverpool go on to probably a deserved 3 points.
You're one of those classic defenders' celebrations from Virgil van Dijk there. In terms of Arsenal's approach to this game, one of the criticisms of them has been that at times they're a bit cautious in games, that maybe they aren't quite taking enough risks. Their XG against Liverpool was just over a half. They had one shot on target and no big chances in that game. Is that something that they need to be looking at? Is it something that you expect away from home against a title rival, or is it part of something bigger for Arsenal?
Look, it's no doubt it was a difficult moment for them to go through this, and they felt the right side of it at Old Trafford a couple of weeks ago. Arne Slot made a really good point, actually. I think both teams are quite even. But I think, as Wayne talked about there, Liverpool just showed that sign of champions, finding a way, that little bit of magic. Look, if the result was the other way around, we could have been doing a similar analysis. They defended well, they attacked okay, but they just lacked. And one thing that Liverpool did really well today, they defended them really well on free kicks and corners, which is a big, big weapon for Arsenal. Well,
that was the weapon for Arsenal. But when you take that and look, you take that away from them, and that's a huge part of any team's game to take away. But particularly when you look at Arsenal, their XG from open play is only Sunderland have a worse record.
Yeah, and it's definitely something that they're brilliant at. And set pieces, they get a lot of them. They're slinging long throws in. They look really organised, and it's such a threat. There's nothing against being good at set pieces and winning games from it, but they just need to add that little bit more threat when it comes to the majority of the game's not a set piece.
They've got the players in the team to go and hurt players and teams, and they've brought Eze in to be a part of that. They've got some good flair players, and so we'd like to see a bit more, attacking and open play time to score and create goals from different opportunities rather than just a lot of time set pieces.
Do you see them as being similar to? I mean, look, we're working off 3 games in this new season, but do you see similarities from last season? Because they've spent £250 million to try and kick on to the next level. It's a big step from second to first.
Yeah, I think from the first 3 games, it's very similar to what we've seen last season, And of course, they've got Gyökeres who's come in, so they need to find a way to play with him in the team. Eze obviously will come into that. So yeah, they've got some new players, but it looks like the same Arsenal, which, in fairness to them, they haven't been too far away over the last 2 or 3 seasons. So they're doing something right. I think they just need that added spice where you look at Liverpool with Mo Salah, being individual brilliant, and they've had other players Liverpool who've created and scored a lot of goals. I think Arsenal need that alongside what they're doing already.
Well, Boss, you must be so proud of your team today.
Yeah, because it was again a difficult one. We had to defend quite a lot of set pieces, not as much as we did Monday night, but quite a lot, and we did really well. And then to win it with a set piece, it's not a corner, but it's a free kick, is something probably this game needed, because from open play there were hardly any chances for both teams.
2 weeks at half time, were there deliberate things that you tried to change just to make it a bit more Liverpool's game second half?
Yeah, we wanted to press them more aggressive than we did the first half, but that had also to do with them. They brought a lot of players towards the ball into their last line, which then makes it hard for centre-backs or full-backs to go all the way forward. They took this risk in the first half from the start, and that's why I think they had the upper hand in the first half. We adjusted second half by going one man-to-man as well. That's why, in my opinion, we got the upper hand in the second half. But both teams only by margins in both halves, and I think a moment of magic was needed to win the game for either teams.
You can tell how good a free kick is when players around them are in awe of the quality. You've probably seen them do it in training, but to do it in that occasion so late on is just something extra special.
Yeah, it is. It was an unbelievable strike. Yesterday they trained on it, and a few of them scored a lot, so I was curious which one would take it, but I think this one was so far out that a player that can strike the ball that hard as Dom can was the right choice for them to make, for him to take that free kick. Yeah, the way he stroked the free kick was probably the way he played the game. Unbelievable mentality from start to finish. I don't think he did anything wrong throughout the whole game. And then to play in a position you've played probably in 2 or 3 times in your life tells you something about his mentality, but definitely also about the player he is.
And also that mentality from a team point of view, because you've needed little bits of everything in every game to come through with the 3 points.
Yeah, it's difficult. You prefer to play a different game in the first half or the second half. Every home game you want to be on top, but if you play Arsenal, who were already such a good team last season, strengthened their squad with 6-7 players, hardly anyone left. So then you know how difficult it is to play them, because last season we couldn't win from them, twice a draw. Today, if we played this game 10 times, I think 8 or 9 times it would be a draw, and maybe they would have won 1 and we won from a moment of magic. That's what we did. But to get there, you need to be so mentally strong and physically strong to get the win over the line. That's what we said. I think what we saw. Florian Wirtz had cramp attacks all around his body, and that's, I think, what you want to see as a manager, that everyone gives everything to get a result.
Well done, thanks, boss.
Yeah.
Well, obviously very disappointed with the result. Very proud of my players. I think both teams, we elevated the game to a level that it was no margins between the two, and very little happens. A lot of action in many areas, not that much in the boxes, and it was going to be decided in 2 possible actions: an individual error or a magic moment, and it was decided on a magic moment from the side.
He had his chance and he took it. A sensational goal to decide what was a real tussle between last season's top 2.
Yeah, I think Mikel Arteta nailed it, really. It was a tie that was very tight, and it was almost like neither wanted to lose it rather than win it, and it was a magic moment, and that free kick was very, very special. The way he got it up and down so quickly, it was one of those moments where you got off the sofa. But for me, it's huge. In this title race, these are the 2 real heavyweight contenders, and it's first blood Liverpool, and we see here 32 yards out. Not many people beat David Raya from that distance, and his movement is moving towards the football. He's not wrong-footed by this at all. Often you see a goalkeeper wrong-footed, and that is the millisecond it takes to get back across. His momentum's actually going to his right-hand side, so it's an even better free kick.
He's not by accident he's done that. Like he said, he practices a lot. That's why he's confident enough to step up. He's been pushed off of him by Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's now moved on to Real Madrid, so he gets the opportunity to take him, stand up himself. I would give him the opportunity to take the next one as well. I mean, wonderful technique, but the power of it. Ray is a good goalkeeper, and to beat him from 32 yards, it needs to be a hell of a strike, and it was.
Yeah, just Szoboszlai been asked to play in an unfamiliar position as well, and he's excelled the last 2 games.
He's a very good player, isn't he? He's got lungs like a deep sea diver, I call it. He can run all day, every day. I mean, he never ever gets tired when he plays in midfield. He understands what the manager wants, and he's asked him to play fullback, and he's brilliant at that as well. And I don't think you've got to question his defensive attributes. I think he's capable. I think he's responsible. He does the job for the side. Whatever's needed for the side, he will do it. He's one of the first on the team sheet now, I'm sure, whether it's midfield or whether it's at fullback.
Just looking at David Raya, and you mentioned, Glenn, that not many people, would beat him from there. And he got close to the ball. At what point would he have seen that, though?
Well, I think he quite often they use the bodies in the wall as kind of a makeshift kind of to send you the wrong way, and it's one step that way, and then you can't get back. But David Raya's movement is always to the right-hand side, so he's got the momentum with him. When we just watch here, he's just lined his wall up, and when this is struck, he's always moving to his right, so it's often when they're wrong-footed. See here, the momentum's with the goalkeeper, so this has to be absolutely inch-perfect inside that
Wirtz and Gakpo do very, very well. They're trying to block the view of David Raya, and he just block it. Just for that split second is just enough. I think he sees it once it starts coming over the top of the wall, but it's coming at such pace, can't get across. Wonderful.
Do you know what, Jules? Sometimes after training, I would stand in and we'd have a mess round, and the speed those balls come at you is like incredible. So you've got to know it's already come. The goalkeepers do that every day, so they're used to it. But that is just sublime free kick.
Yeah, 32.2 yards is the official distance. Glenn mentioned that it's first blood Liverpool. The top 2 from last season, it was in danger of going towards a 0-0. We know that 4 of the last 5 before this had been draws. But Liverpool found a way to win the match. Was it just rewards for them, especially in the second half where they really turned the screw a bit more?
I thought it was an even game, I really did. I think the game has come too early in the season, unfortunately, but they're both not ready. They're both not firing on all cylinders. But certainly Liverpool, but they managed to get the job done. The last-minute winner against Newcastle as well. I mean, that's a sign of champions in my eyes. They've gone course and distance. They're proven. They know how the experience of getting over the line. Arsenal got no excuses now. They've strengthened in the market. They've got Mikel, the players, what he's desired. I'm not sure they're finished yet. They might do some more business tomorrow. But they've got some injuries. They picked up injuries. There's so many injuries at the moment. Muscle injuries, which is from every team. It's how you cope with them situations. Liverpool know how to cope with it. They've had it all last year. And like I say, no more excuses for Arsenal. It's now or never for them. They have to win this league.
To mention them strengthening in the window, very important to note that Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard was involved late on, but he was also injured. Those muscle injuries, as you mentioned, although his was a shoulder. And then Saliba goes off early as well. Now, last season, that's the spine of the team. Those are their 3 main players. This season, they had replacements for them.
Yeah, they do, but that foundation of Gabriel and Saliba, we've seen the fall down towards the end of last season. It looks really innocuous what he does here, but when you lose that foundation, Arsenal lose that X factor because it allows those players like your Sakas and things to go on and create. Couldn't quite get Eze on the field from the start today, but he's got so many more options now, Mikel Arteta, and I agree with Tim. It's now or never for Arsenal. Also got that 9 in the door that they've wanted for so long.
Yeah, let's look at Arsenal's next couple of fixtures because the Champions League draw was also done in midweek, and so they have European focus to come as well. It's a tough start to the season for them overall, and Nottingham Forest Athletic Club is the first game they play on the 16th of September in the Champions League. Manchester City and Newcastle also to come. And there's a League Cup game in between there too. It's very tough start.
Very tough. They'll go away international. 90% of their squad will be away playing international football. So Mikel will be redundant for a couple of weeks, which manager doesn't like, especially on the back of a defeat against your championship rivals. But just got to get on with it. They've got to come back healthy. They've got to play them games. They're all playing them international games. They have to come back. Their squad is getting stretched. We know they've made some signings to give them a little bit more depth, but they need the players back healthy to challenge for the title. I think they're capable of taking it right to the wire. There was nothing in that game today. It needed a bit of magic to settle it, and Szoboszlai produced it.
So when you're saying taking it right to the wire, do you think the champions are coming from this game today?
Yeah, I do. I genuinely do. I think it's really difficult to rule out Manchester City because they've had a poor start, lost 2 games already. But Pep Guardiola's a genius. We know what he's capable of doing. But if I was a betting man, I would say between Liverpool and Arsenal.
If you're an Arsenal player, if you're Mikel Arteta after this, you know, you've had some time now to think about the result. What do you think is the highlight and what do you think is the low light for them from this game?
I think that they pushed Liverpool all the way, and for moments in the game they were in the ascendancy. They had more shots in the game. There's so many positives to take out of the game for Arsenal, but ultimately, like we say, it was a moment of magic, and they needed one of their players to step up and do that. But I think you've got to take into consideration it's very, very early on in the league. So it's one of those you have to take on the chin, dust yourself down, and keep going.
I think a lot of people expected Eberechi Eze to start today.
Yeah.
I think Mikel Arteta was quite coy when asked in this pre-match press conference. He said we have a lot of players who can fill that role. What did you expect?
I expected him to play, I really did. I think if it was a player coming from a foreign country, new to the Premier League, then it's to bet him in. But not with Eze. Eze played hundreds of games, you know, in the Premier League. We know he's game ready. We know he's ready to step up. It's his boyhood team, the team he got released from, playing at Anfield, huge game. I think in hindsight, Mikel might have started him if he looks back.
Yeah, I thought he would have taken that momentum of all the positive, like you say, his childhood club, the welcome he got from Wrighty and the whole of the Arsenal family. I thought he would have taken that and kind of thrust him in, thrust him into that limelight and said, go and win me this game, become an icon right away. But unfortunately, opted for the bench.
Well, Dom, Cop End, signature move. It's what you've always hoped for, a goal like that, and it was one worthy winning any game.
Yeah, it was perfect timing. A long time ago I didn't score a free kick, so it was time.
When you get the decision from that distance, what's in your mind? The distance seemingly was no problem for you, but what's in your mind that you need to concentrate on in that moment?
Probably 3 things: the ball, the goal, and myself. And then I just focused and take a risk, because that's probably more risky free kick than just an easy one. With this power I needed to do, because it was far away. So yeah, I just took it.
There's an unbelievable angle, I think maybe on the ref cam, where you can see the ball fly. And do you know as soon as you connect with that the keeper's not going to save it, it's going in?
No, I was just hoping. I see that the ball goes outside. I was please from the post go inside and not outside. Yeah. So yeah, I just first of all I couldn't believe it, and then when I see it goes in, I was very happy.
From a team perspective, so patient today. First half, you couldn't really get any rhythm going. Arsenal trying to stop you where they could, but second half, it looked a lot more like Liverpool, didn't it?
Yeah, but we played against Arsenal. You cannot forget that they have an unbelievable team. Last year they had a crazy team as well, and then they add a couple of players even to make it even stronger as a squad. So yeah, we were ready for the battle, and I think they were also ready, and at the end we had a little bit more luck.
Another performance of probably man of the match proportions at right back. No problem, is there? You can play false 9, you can play anywhere in midfield. Now at the back.
I'm going to play where the coach put me, so we had a long discussion about it last week as well. So if he puts me right back, I'm going to play right back.
Some brave performances in there team-wise, wasn't there today? Ibu was sensational. Your Hungarian brother out there at left back was brilliant again today.
Yeah. I think from everyone it was just an unbelievable performance. They couldn't get us in 1v1s with long balls, set pieces. We defended very good, and at the end we kept the 3 points.
Just finally, 3 out of 3. It's been a tough start, hasn't it? Some wonderful games that the neutrals have enjoyed, but you've displayed every different quality to get through with 3 wins. Yeah, this was our goal, and to go to international break with 3 wins, 9 points. It's a great feeling, but we have to be careful to come back, because last season we did the same, came back and then lost against Forest. So that's not our plan, and now focus on national team, everybody, and then come back and be ready. Welcome back.